I think stating a need is one of the scariest things you can do.
Mm-hmm. And how do we even know what we need? I mean, I've heard people say...
Great question.
Yeah. How does addiction show up in the energy field if there is a certain pattern, for example?
The way I see it is, the person, the substance, the situation, it's almost like the body kind of wraps itself around it. And it's like there's so much protection of the heart.
So Jess, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's so good to be with you in Miami.
Miami for extra days.
I want to start by asking you about your personal journey and what brought you to this path of healing.
So I've been doing massage therapy for just about 20 years now. I've always been intrigued by just people and humans and what is connection and just like psychological depth. But I wasn't in a place during college I didn't feel called to being a counselor directly in college because it just didn't feel like it was full enough for me. There was something really missing in the education, and that was the body. And massage therapy for 20 years has really given me insight into how emotions, how your past, how your present plays out in your body, in your cells, and how the fluids are moving, how you're able to move in your body and be comfortable with yourself. So it's like I've found a form of psychology through body work. And this really beautiful way of connecting to people when they feel vulnerable. Like, people feel vulnerable in their body often. And there's nothing that makes me happier than having like a first-time massage client come in and just explain it to them in a way where like they can receive and not feel nervous about it. It's really rewarding. Like, you can feel the defenses kind of there, and like with humor, with just being really frank, and like all the things, you can just let that pass. And sometimes it lingers on the table a little bit more, but like it's really about letting people have a sense of, I think the word agency comes to mind. Like, whatever you say in this session goes, and you matter in this session. I'm not telling you what your body needs. We're having a conversation about this present moment. Even if it's someone that I've been seeing for 15 years, like, when you walk in the room, it's a new moment, and I want that new moment to be honored, and I want to see you and your completeness in that one moment, and then adjust the session, adjust what we're doing by whatever that is. So when it's a first-time client, I have like, a couple of points I kind of make every time in like a script, just to make sure that there's nothing lost in translation or lost because we're like talking about, something that might be happening in the body, because it really matters that there's, again, like a sense of voice and a sense of, if it's not comfort in the moment, the sense that like comfort is a possibility. And what I would do to prepare myself is to just get as grounded as possible, and feel into where I am in that moment.
And can you walk me through how you would get grounded? Like, what's the actual process, the actual practice?
Well, I've got like my cute little rolly stool, and I just like really sit there and let my palms get open.
Okay, I'm gonna try that right now.
Okay, I'll do it with you.
Okay, so we have our feet on the floor, right?
Yep, flat on the floor. I really love talking about like how the joints support each other. So if you have your ankles kind of tucked like right underneath the knee, and the knee coming back in towards your hip, you can kind of feel your hip bones a little bit better at that point. And instead of feeling like gravity is heavy, because it is, you can really feel your own strength in that moment. So a lot of my people with like desk jobs or that ride horses, or like I work with lobstermen where like it's a very sideways kind of posture, the more you're finding your joints and aligning your joints with one another, the more the energy can move, and the more your structure can support you.
Do you have lobster men, and what are some other professions that are very main specific?
I mean, that's a big one. There's a lot of carpentry, real estate agents, moms, just anyone really. Like people that work at desks a lot. There's a lot of remote work happening in Maine right now.
So if I'm a desk job type of person, which I am, I sit at my desk a lot. Mm-hmm. The way that you ground yourself, would you also recommend that to your clients, or?
Maybe not in those words, depending on the client, but I do go over like posture, like before or after, just because posture is indicative of pattern. Mm-hmm. So if we're creating a pattern, it's going to show in the body. So the more you're able to define what you want your pattern to be, the more the posture is going to reflect that. It's not about force, it's about finding ease and change.
I like that. I'm trying to take that in. Not about force, finding ease and change. Because I think many of us are so used to, getting through the day with some amount of force, right?
There's an awful lot of will to get through a long day. There's a lot to do in a day, is what I tell a lot of my clients.
Yeah.
Because there's so much shame around the body. Like, oh, I should really be stretching. You ate breakfast today. Good job. You showed up for yourself. You're getting a massage today. Mm-hmm. Good job.
So, and the way that you give the massage, is it intuitive, or is I'm assuming it's based on what the client presents, mm-hmm. and then do you use your intuition to guide you, or?
Yeah. I had one client show up, and I hadn't seen them in a couple years, and they reflected on the time that they showed up with like right hip pain, and I worked on their left ankle, and they're like so annoyed that I was working on their left ankle, but then they stood up and it felt better. I just like I can't help it, but I do like a body scan while people are talking, and I'm listening to words, but I'm watching movement, I'm watching pattern. And then when they're on the table, like that's another pattern. And just kind of move wherever the attention grabs me.
Wow, so you're super observant. You're kind of watching people's micro movements even, right? In order to get a sense of...
There's a bit of that.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to feel observed either, because there's a discomfort to
Of course. That. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, you don't come across that way at all.
Okay.
I see you.
I'm just watching. Yeah, like in there can be like a little discomfort if people feel watched, and like that's when the posture shifts and it becomes something forced and unnatural. So,
and you're also a yoga instructor, right?
Sometimes.
Okay. What kind of yoga do you teach?
Again, it's very intuitive. The most meaningful 2 classes that I've taken, one was Yoga Nidra, and it teaches you how to rest. So kind of like, I don't want to equate it to like an efforting, but it allows you to exercise the muscle of rest and learn more about how to allow your body to come into a restful state, because we're not taught that, and most of us have a really hard time achieving that. And then the other one was an Ayurvedic yoga. So you're looking at the dosha, you're looking at the body type, how the body's moving, how the emotions are moving, how the mental is moving, and then you try to design a yoga flow for the person in that moment.
Wow. What kinds of people do you work with?
I work with clients. They can book a massage, or they can book an hour yoga session. But I'm really more focused in yoga. It feels, or more focused on massage, because I just feel like I'm a more hands-on person. And as someone that's doing a lot of observation, I am recognizing that I don't love being watched.
Oh, okay.
So like being a yoga teacher reminds or you really have to be like in front of people, and people are observing you.
Sure. And do you want to talk a little bit about your journey that brought you to energy healing? Is it a big transition from massage therapy to energy, or?
It's both. Like the energy's already moving in a massage. And I came to Barbara Brennan because I kept having like these flashes and these feelings, and I didn't really know the words around them. And I thought Barbara Brennan, given that she's so empirical, would be a really great way to like develop language around it. And there are just things that language doesn't have the capacity to hold.
Okay, so tell us about the flashes and feelings.
Barbara Brennan's been a great way to lean into it more. Like I remember when I was training for massage therapy, a client said something about like their jaw and their low back, and I put my hands on them. I'm like, oh God, your son's learning to drive and you're so anxious right now. I can feel it in your back. She's like, how did you know? And, you know, like, I feel like, you know, massage was like a way to kind of channel that knowing into something that didn't have to be verbalized. Like, again, I can work on someone's ankle and it helps their back because I'm seeing their posture and I know there's like a twist somewhere and I can undo it. And I don't have to necessarily explain it or how I know it. Barbara Brennan's such a beautiful challenge for me because I love words. I love reading. And it gives me a space to settle into my visions a little bit more and to play with them. Like it brings a lot more play into my life.
So it's a strong, would you call it a strong intuition or?
I think I have a pretty strong intuition. In school and in life circumstances, like really opened up spaces where I can trust it more and more. And that's been such a gift and so much fun. There's a way that I want to empower people on their own healing journeys. So instead of like always looking for someone to help and fix, like really finding the power within themselves instead. And shifting that mindset has been really a great thing for my massage practice as well.
Is empowering people as opposed to fixing?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, when you talk about posture and you talk about yoga and you talk about like little tweaks in life that can help somebody like not continue with things that cause pain, that's one thing, but there are so many other levels aside from that support moving towards health and healing. You know, I was raised Catholic and I really loved the idea of like Mother Mary, and like this idea that like one moment there's nothing and the next moment like there's the divine conception. Like I thought that was very cool as a kid. I was very into the incense. But like as a religion, it didn't land for very long. It didn't land the way like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe did, where I was like devoted to trying to talk to my cat and heal her, or like talk to my dog and like try to fix her like poor little bones. And like believing in that sense of magic was a huge part of my upbringing. Like for me, like I was in the woods all the time, like watching skunks scurry by and playing in the river. And like there was just like this beautiful imaginative space that I could go. And yeah, I think that kind of lends itself to Barbara Brennan too. Like you get to go big again, you get to go broad, you get to be unfocused and focused at the same time. And you receive so much information in that duality in that play.
How does the connection with nature connect to healing or, you know, energy?
That's so hard to answer because I don't think there'd be life, and without life there'd be no healing without the world around us. It doesn't exist. I don't know, that sense of magic is really present in nature for me. There's a field in front of my house right now in late July and August. It's just like swimming with fireflies. And if you don't believe in magic, like you just haven't sat still on a porch and watched fireflies dance and like start to notice like how their rhythm is tied into the warmth of the day and the wind, and then you look up and you have all these stars twinkling down at the same time. There's so much reflected in nature, like what's happening inside, what's happening outside of us, what's happening in the cosmos, what's happening on the earth. it's just all the same, and it's all there for you to be with if you choose to, however you choose to.
Beautiful. Is that a conversation that you can have with clients who are open to it?
Yeah. Yeah, some like to go deep. Some people really do appreciate like a little philosophizing before they go under during a massage. As I've moved through massage, I've become a lot more grounded and a lot more trusting of my body. Even during massage school and then yoga teacher training, like there was a lot of distrust of my body, a lot of seeking safety from the external as opposed to knowing that I was already safe, and learning more about the body and really committing to understanding both anatomy, physiology, and energy healing practices has made a huge difference, because it's not either or.
Is there a particular physical or emotional issue that you found healing with through Brennan? Or
I feel like my anxiety has gone down quite a bit. And I think part of my sensitivity comes from having PTSD. And it's been really, there have been moments that have been really hard having PTSD from body-related issues, and then working with the body and moving through like that difficulty has been a huge gift. Like it's been a gift to be able to reclaim not only my safety, but to allow my safety to be something that I'm able to allow people to experience.
And what are some techniques in these practices that have helped you move through anxiety?
Moving through anxiety, the grounding's a huge piece. Breath work is incredible. Yoga Nidra is an absolute lifesaver for someone with, for my experience of PTSD and anxiety. It's been a total game changer. It really gives you a sense of authority, where like meditation can maybe send some people out of their body. And if you're ungrounded or unsafe in your body already, it becomes more so. Yoga Nidra gets you in your body and allows you to feel how the breath is going to keep moving at a rhythm, and you can feel safe in that rhythm. Or I can feel safe in that rhythm. But I've seen it work wonders with other people as well.
And in Yoga Nidra, the pose is generally Shavasana, right? Like you're lying down. Can you walk us through like a 1 minute Yoga Nidra practice? Like what would that look like?
Do you want to do one?
I don't know. I don't think we'll get on the floor and do one, but
So, yeah, you can definitely do it seated as well.
okay.
But the idea is allow your body to just be as comfortable as it can be. I used to do it flying, and it was huge for being more comfortable on planes. And so if you're starting at maybe the crown of the head and just really feeling what the sensation at the crown of your head is, and noticing, observing, and letting any judgment go away, and then say mentally to yourself, I ask for ease in the crown of my head.
Ask for ease in the crown of my head. It's funny. It's not as part of my body I generally tune into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel it.
As soon as you like invite ease into an area, like it bubbles almost. So if your eyes were closed and you were just saying it to yourself, like, I invite ease into the crown of my head. I invite ease into my temples. I invite ease into my forehead, into my eyebrows, into my third eye.
Third eye being right here, right?
Yeah, center of the eyebrows.
Yeah.
I invite ease into the eyes, into the cheeks, into the nose. I invite ease into the ears, into the jaw. I invite ease into the upper lip, the lower lip, the chin. I invite ease into the throat. I invite ease into the neck, the right shoulder, the left shoulder. Taking a deep breath into the chest. I invite ease into the left arm, the elbow, wrist, the palm of the hand, left thumb, second finger, the third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. I invite ease into the right shoulder, the right arm, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. And for brevity's sake, let's just focus on the palms of the hands and the newfound space in the palms of the hands. Taking another deep breath here. I always think of the hands as an extension of the heart. It's how the heart takes action in the world. So the more space I can find in the palms, the more I feel like I can translate what's in my heart into the manifest world. So even just doing that quick little one before a client is really nice.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like this part of my body's jealous.
Totally. I find these in my whole body.
Yeah. That's the 5-second version. That's the New York version.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel so relaxed now.
Good.
I love it. How do you work with energy healing clients? Walk us through what the technique is. Are you actually placing hands on the client when you work with them, or?
Hands-on healing for a first-timer, I would kind of just ask you what's going on in your life and try to connect to what themes might be playing out, and if there's anything that the client or you might want to really focus on. And then again, just observing how the body's moving, how the words are moving, how the breath is moving. And then on a subtler note, maybe seeing if my eyes are drawn to a certain area of the body, whether it's a chakra and in the energy field and the layers of the aura, or maybe it's the right knee is calling out to me for some reason and we want to hang out there. But just kind of making those gentle observations before asking a client to go to the table. And there are so many ways you can work with the energy, but the most profound to me for the clientele that I've been working with has been just grounding.
Okay. And so the client is lying down on the table, so the same as a massage table?
It's a massage table. The request would be clothing stays on for energy healing. And I just start at the feet. And I notice what's happening in the energy at the bottom of the energy field and in the feet. And I hang out there as long as necessary for the person to start feeling like they can actually receive. That's something that's been really interesting in energy healing is knowing the timing. Because you don't want to push someone. You don't want it to be stagnant. You want there to be movement, but you also don't want to push someone beyond capacity for that moment. And grounding's a huge piece of that. If you can't feel your toes, we don't want to keep moving. We want to just pause a little bit, in my opinion. And again, I realize that I'm very biased to being in the body as a body worker, but it's a huge piece.
Yeah, being in the body seems kind of essential for living on Earth, right?
Be surprised.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah, there's so much autopilot.
right. That's true. How does addiction show up in the energy field if there is a certain pattern, for example?
The way I see it is kind of, the person, the substance, the situation. It's almost like the body kind of wraps itself around it and like holds it. And we spend a lot of time holding in like this. Yeah, it's almost like a wrapping around and a pulling in of something. I'm seeing that a lot with news for people right now. Like there's an overconsumption of news. And it's manifesting, this particular addiction is manifesting as like a lot of congestion, like right in along the sternum. And it's like there's so much protection of the heart. And yeah, that's how I'm seeing that particular addiction playing out right now.
That's fascinating. And how would you approach that as a body worker or energy worker?
I would ask if they wanted input. First and foremost, I would ask about, how much news are you watching lately? And does it feel like something you can just tone down even 5%? Is there a way you can just skip and just do headlines for a little bit or let it go for a day? And just know that there'll be more news the next day. That is a given. But like, can you set it down for a moment so that you can be here and you can make a difference in the world that you're living in right now?
So it sounds like taking whether it's substances or information or particularly negative information has a direct physical effect on the body. Is that true?
Absolutely. And you can feel, again, I keep talking about receptivity today, but you can feel that, like even when I'm working just on the body, like there's a way where some bodies are just wrapped in a pattern, and it's almost like they're levitating on the table. So often the clients in that pattern want a lot of pressure, and it's counterintuitive to not do what somebody asks, but it's actually essential in that space to give something that feels safer than deeper, 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 because it's putting the body back in a trauma space where they're defending.
Meaning that the more pressure you apply as a massage therapist, the more that their defenses may emerge?
Yeah, like there's a point where there's a point where I can tell it's just a silent argument. It's almost like they need something to push back against, and that's okay. That's one way to work with it, but it's not a productive way to get your muscles to unclench, is to be aggressively poked.
Yeah, no, that really makes sense. What do you think draws people to consuming so much news?
Any addiction is like looking for connection and control, right?
Can you say more about that?
When you look at addiction, whether it's like an emotional, like codependence or love addiction, or if you're looking at substances, I just wonder what the goal is. Like again, if you're looking through an Ayurvedic, and I'm not certified in Ayurvedic, like this is my interpretation, but like if like seeking like, what are we seeking when we need alcohol, when we need cannabis, or whatever else you could choose to be addicted to, or not choose to be addicted to, but any other choice addiction rather. What are we seeking? And like sitting with the underlying want and the underlying need is just a way to be more present with it, as opposed to, powering through.
Yeah, it does so often come back to what the need is, right? The underlying need. How does Brennan Healing Science address unmet needs?
I think naming the need is really powerful for a lot of people and really scary. I think that was in second year we had to do that. Or was it first? I just remember everyone crying. Not gentle tears, like bawling. I think stating a need is one of the scariest things you can do.
And how do we even know what we need? I mean, I've heard people say,
Great question.
yeah. I mean, how do we know what we need? Like, how do we get there?
The pause, attuning to it, asking. Like, how often do we ask ourselves questions and really truly answer them?
Why do you think we don't do that?
I'm sure everyone has a different reason, but there's a lot to do in a day is one of them. And it's tiring. Like, self-honesty can be really, really tiring.
And so hence the cannabis and the alcohol and the news and
the distraction.
And the other distractions to take us out of having to deal with our unmet needs.
I think there's a way we think we're satisfying a need when we do that.
Okay, that's interesting. So addiction is a way of thinking we're satisfying a need. Not just avoiding thinking about our needs.
How many of us think we're really avoiding things?
True. Yeah.
Again, there's like a way that we don't give ourselves time and space to actually feel the true want and the true need. And there's a lot of ways we can just be distracted and on autopilot and like clicking off boxes and going through the day.
And do you work with a lot of people who have, on the surface, sort of successful lives, but are feeling unfulfilled?
Definitely. I think people have longings, and the way we live our lives right now doesn't allow a lot of exploration of those longings.
What are some basic longings that people have?
I'd say love, nourishment of some sort, connection, being in the physical world, moving around is a big one for people. I see that in Maine a lot. Just being in the woods is a big motivator for a lot of people, or on the ocean. Yeah.
So you mentioned love. Can we talk about love in terms of healing and how it plays a role in the healing space, whether it's massage or energy?
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's absolutely everything. Yeah, I tell a lot of people this. Like, I used to do some doula work, and there's nothing like that moment when like the baby finally arrives after all of that effort, and everyone's gathering around to like meet this new being that's just fresh to the world, and hopefully the mother is getting care, though our medical system is not geared towards the mother after the mother has given birth, and that makes me angry another time. But there's this moment where everyone is focusing on this new life, like something exists that didn't exist a moment ago. And it's everything. And that's what I try to give to clients on the massage table. Like, in that moment, you are everything. And, it's a, like, the healing sense of love is just like, my attention is completely with you right now. What is it that you need? What is it that I can offer? Of course, I'm staying in my own self, my own boundaries, and like channeling like this love for the moment. But it's absolutely everything. How many people go through the day and never have anyone pay real attention to them, or never pay attention to themselves? It's just...
That sounds like a bit of a vicious cycle, right? If we don't give ourselves the attention, how can we expect others to give us attention?
If we can't give ourselves love and attention, how can we even receive it from another person? And there's like a growth edge there, like there's community involved in healing, but there's also self-work involved in healing. So like letting them, you know, again, the internal and external are playing with each other at that point. Like, what can I take in? What can I give? What can I allow in myself? What can I put down?
Can you talk about love in relationship? And healing in relationship, since you mentioned community? How can someone get more connection if they're noticing that longing, if they're noticing the need?
It's the scariest thing to reach out. For me, I'm speaking from my own experience, like to have that longing for like deep connection with another person is also the scariest thing you can admit to wanting, or the scariest thing that I've had to admit to wanting. Because what if they say no? What if they reject you? What if they abandon you? What if they're as human as you are? Oh, fuck. Why try? But then, like, the more gentle you can be with yourself and the more you invite that ease in, like an internal, like interoception yoga nidra, like it's actually amazing to test that container and to let people in and to love them in their whole being. Like, if we're here to like see the light in everyone, which I do believe we are, like, how do you help somebody magnify their own light? And how do you magnify your own light? And how do you just keep it moving? Like the fireflies in the field.
I love how you brought that back around to the fireflies.
I love a good loop back.
Yeah. Can you just define interoception for us?
Awareness of the inner, awareness of the interior.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jess.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Steve.
Great to see you as always.
Absolute delight. Thank you.
How was that?